Welcome back. Staying with our top story this afternoon, it's been exactly a month since Hamas massacred Israelis and took hostages into Gaza. And their families, if you've been watching, you will have seen, are increasingly desperate to see them brought home. Joining me now is Sharren Haskel, member of the Knesset for the National Unity Party. Sharren, thank you very much indeed for joining me. I think you may have seen that interview with the mothers of three 12-year-old boys taken hostage by Hamas. Absolutely devastating to hear from their own mouths the pain, the shock, the worry, the anguish, the torture really that they're going through. And what we have been told is effectively there's been silence pretty much since that day. No channels of communication opened, no information about their boys, no information about any of the 240 hostages who were taken by Hamas. So what can you tell me is going on inside the Knesset, inside Israel, inside government to rectify this appalling situation?
So the first thing for me as a mother, I'm a mother of three. I've got a 3-year-old and twins who are a year old. And as a mother, like any other mother here in Israel, for the last 30 days, it's been very difficult to fall asleep, hours that our mind is running, and seeing those pictures of those beautiful children and babies and longing for them. Going to our children's and our babies' bed just to see that they're there, hugging them, kissing them, and coming back. So it's just been a very, very traumatic and difficult 30 days. For us, we went into Gaza in order to bring them back. We want to bring back all the 242 of them alive and well. We understand that some of them are not among the living, and we want to bring their bodies back to their family so that they can bury them. And it's just a very difficult situation. We can't just go in and completely eliminate Hamas and fight Hamas just like any other border or any other country who's going into war. Hamas is a terrorist organization who's hiding behind civilian population, behind children, behind women. And we don't want to harm them. We're not at war with Palestinians. We're at war with Hamas. Just yesterday, we took footage and we unveiled that in one of the scouts branches in Gaza, Hamas has shot like hundreds of rockets. There are dozens of rocket launchers that from there, they've launched so many rockets, and you see just those rooms of scouts where children were meant to play just next to it. They are hiding underneath hospitals. And so probably those hostages who were taken through tunnels into their bunkers, who are located underneath hospitals, underneath schools, that's going to be a very difficult and complicated mission, but we are committed to it. We are already in Gaza, and we are operating, and we are doing everything in our capability in order to bring them back home safely.
Is there any knowledge at all so far about whether the hostages are being kept together or in larger groups, or whether they're sectioned off in all sorts of different places and nobody really knows, whether they're underground in these booby-trapped tunnels, whether they're above ground, whether anybody knows, because some of them are babies? And also we heard that mother say, they took my boy, he was wearing his pajamas. He was barefoot. Who's looking after him? One of those three little boys is a very anxious boy. It takes an hour to settle at night. His mum has to reassure him so that he can sleep. She's saying, who's looking after my child? Who's doing what I have done without his mother? How is he surviving? Is there any information at all about the sorts of places that the hostages are being kept, or the sorts of people who are looking after them, or anything at all?
So unfortunately, we don't have any accurate information. All we have is some of the footage that Hamas released, but we do understand that they are located in their bunkers, in their headquarters, in those tunnels. Now, Vanessa, you need to understand, Hamas has used years and years of every single dime they had in order to build an underground city of tunnels where they have their bunkers, their ammunitions, their headquarters, their rooms. everything. It's like a full city underneath the city. And so it's a very, very complicated, difficult, dangerous as well for our own soldiers to reach all of these areas. But we are committed. I mean, some of them, like Kfir, he's a 9 months old baby who was taken there. There's a few babies that our heart is really in agony, thinking of what is happening with them. You know, how are they eating? Do they have enough nutrition? They don't have any sun. You know, they're meant to, it's children. They're meant to be outdoors, running, playing, eating, being in close contact to their mother, to their father. They need that. And so it's a very, very heart-wrenching position for us. And you know, this is what we have in our mind every night, to bring them back home as quickly and as safely as possible.
And is there, Sharren, is there pressure on the Prime Minister Netanyahu to do something else, to you know, to accelerate it, to do something quickly, because, you know, time, heaven forbid, might be running out for the babies, for the little ones, for the elderly, that something kind of dramatic needs to happen faster? Are there people putting pressure on the Prime Minister, saying those sorts of things?
Well, the thing is that the more we advance, the more Hamas is in tension, is in pressure, is under pressure. And so the more we advance, Hamas is pressured to go into a ceasefire, or to stop, or to have some kind of a break. And that will give us the opportunity. I mean, we said, if they bring us all of our hostages, we will go into a ceasefire. But they need to bring back our family members, our friends, our babies, our children. And so the more we advance towards Gaza, and the more we go in deeper and closer to their headquarters, the more pressure there is on them to release them.
Thank you, Sharren, very much.